All right, greetings drum corps fans. How's it going? So here I am back in my hotel room. Just been snacking on some late night snacks here. I have not looked at scores yet. I've not read much commentary regarding the scores, but I will tell you this. I will tell you that this was not Boston's night. So a night where they had to come out and slay it one way or another, especially after BD performed, because BD performed really well. Boston came out a little off. Definitely, they seemed to pick up some speed halfway through, and then the last third of the show definitely took flight for them. So, but that shouldn't probably be enough to win. I don't know what the results are. Again, I didn't look at the scores yet, guys. So anyway, a night that was threatened by weather, they held it off. They put a postponement in there, as you guys all probably know. Luckily, no issues with weather. It was a little scary there for a while. There was some lightning going on to the west, but it never became an issue. And the show went on as expected once they got past the first delay to start. So great that happened that way. Also, it was very humid. So any kind of sound like brass-wise was not at its maximum, that's for sure, I would say. It was very good, but it's certainly that when you had that thick of air and that humid air, humidity being, weather you can wear, right? It's so thick. So, yeah. So we go right down the line. The Academy was the first one to come out. People were really very receptive to the Academy show. I think they were just excited to see drum corps and to have the show finally start. And it was a nice whimsical kind of show and something people can relate to. So they were very well received. The second corps to go on was Music City. They weren't as well received for whatever reason. They did a pretty good job. It was my first read on them live. Really liked the ballad in that show. Next corps to come on was the Blue Knights. They made definitely a bigger presence. Looked great in those uniforms, and they used those round discs really well. Also, the solo work is really good. So people definitely noticed that, appreciated that. I just feel like in the drum line, I know that's sort of a strength of theirs of sorts in recent years, that there's just too many notes at certain points during the show. So yeah, I know they're trying to make a statement and all, but it seems like they jammed too many notes in there. That's just my opinion. The Mandarins, I was a little worried about this one because I didn't know how the crowd was going to take the heavy singing from this guy named Charles. No problem there at all. As a matter of fact, people actually enjoyed it. And what I think is the thing that I was worried most about the singing, because this is the first time I heard it live in person, is that the volume would be too loud, which it's not. And that's great. So I think that makes it a lot more enjoyable for sure. So yeah, they really did a great job, and they really made a big opening statement in their show tonight, the Mandarins. Very nice job. The Colts. Yeah, I think the thing that was that the crowd didn't respond as maybe as much as some might think they would, is because they just never knock you over with sound in the brass department, right? The guard was really good. The Colts moved very well. Of course, we know their drum line is very strong, although it looked like one snare person was out, snare drummer. The soloists did a great job tonight. But again, they just don't give you that kind of that hit, that smack of sound. Very controlled, very nice, but they don't have that huge volume. Okay, on to the next corps. And again, guys, I'm not a former member. I never knew anybody in the group. I'm not a honk, I'm not a homer, I'm not any of those things. I just like what I like, and this year, their show is my favorite show so far that I've seen live. I haven't seen everybody yet, but right now they are in the front of the pack in my enjoyment of it. And I knew that if they really laid one out there and did a good job, that the crowd would be in the palm of their hands. And no doubt, they were. It was the crowd's by far favorite show tonight was the Phantom Regiment. They were very good. They just keep coming at you and coming at you. It's what I call meat and potatoes drum corps, straight to meat and potatoes, don't bother with appetizers. Straight straightforward stuff without too many gimmicks, and definitely modernized version of the Corps without being too much. Crowd loved it. It was a great show. They did a great job, and those guys and gals should be super happy with the result and the applause they got. Next Corps was the Bluecoats. Excellent job with the Bluecoats. I spent the day with them, as you probably saw in other videos. If not, check them out. Just a few short videos of them from the afternoon, and they did pretty well. But oddly enough, they didn't end very well. It seemed to be a little off for some reasons. I don't know why, but even as the horn line does one more, kind of pitch down, and then the wheels roll over them, they're supposed to come up together and hit a note together. And they didn't really, that timing there wasn't there. Kind of distracting. Another nervous moment. I was worried about the keytar, how that would go over in Allentown. People really did like it, actually. They thought it was very cool. So the next Corps was the Blue Devils. First time seeing it live, they had a great show. All right, when it's time to really come up and perform, they know what to do and they know how to do it. So they did a very good job. I'm not a fan of the show. It's okay in spots. I think I like the second half better than the first half. Once you get past the ballad, I think I like it much better. But again, I feel like we're not seeing anything really new or unique with them, and I don't see the execution in what they're doing at a super, super high, way more than everybody else level. The horn line doesn't march and play all that much. You know what? When the difficulty is they're marching and playing with the horn line is during the ballad, believe it or not, because the ballad, it's very simple, or not simple, but very exposed notes, and they're bopping up and down and moving all around, and that's not easy to do, right? You get to control all that. So that's when I think they actually do the most, difficult maneuvers while playing. The rest of the show, they just run to spaces and then play. Sorry guys, just don't like it, and I'm not really hoping it wins. I'd like to see somebody else get in there with something else. And then the last Corps was Boss Crusaders. As I said earlier, they had a slay it tonight. They did not. The show itself, I'm not a big fan of it either. I like the SOS show, was the last real Boston show. The Gladiator show was pretty good too. But that's it, folks. We're going to call it a night for night one. Hope you found something interesting to in this report, recap, whatever you want to have it. And I'm going to go check out the scores and see what's up. So have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow night.